What happens when a machine dies where there are no workshops, no spare parts, no easy answers? You are about to witness engineering at its most fundamental. A machine drowned and abandoned is about to be resurrected. The challenge seems impossible. The engine is seized, the body is rusting in a river. But for this mechanic, it's just another day at the office, her first task of forensic cleaning. She's not just washing away mud, she's searching for the first clue to its failure. She begins the diagnostic process, wiping down the engine. Water intrusion is the #1 suspect. The machine is stuck fast in the mud. She begins digging it out by hand, a monumental task. Realizing brute force isn't enough, she prepares a tow line. Now for the engine triage. She works on a small component, likely part of the fuel or ignition system. The moment of truth, a hand crank start is attempted. This requires overcoming the engine's full compression stroke. It fails. The problem is deeper than a simple adjustment. She goes back to the engine for a more thorough analysis. Meticulous cleaning of a small part is essential. A single piece of grit can cause catastrophic failure. She uses a wrench to tighten a critical fastener on the engine block. Proper torque is essential for a reliable repair. A full inspection of her work, she's checking every component before the next start attempt. Fine-tuning the engine with a small tool, these adjustments can determine if the engine runs smoothly. A tactile check, she's feeling for looseness or incorrect fitment. Her hands are her most important diagnostic tools. This iterative process of testing and adjusting is key to field mechanics. She begins reassembling the engine components. A final thorough inspection of the completed repairs. Time for another start attempt. The hand crank is her only option. The scene shifts. Now a man and woman collaborate on the repair. Her focus remains intense as she works on the engine. A man joins the effort, tackling a different part of the machine. Teamwork is often essential in these complex field repairs. She continues her work while the machine is still partially submerged, an incredibly challenging work environment, using a T-handle wrench for better torque and control. Her focus and skill are evident in every movement. Success. Smoke from the exhaust pipe indicates combustion. The drowned engine is alive once more. Night falls. The machine rests after its resurrection. A new day, a new problem. This repair requires fabrication. She's hooking up a portable arc welder to the machine's battery. The bright flash is the electric arc melting metal to fuse a broken part. This is a highly skilled structural repair. The welding continues, ensuring a strong permanent bond. With the welding complete, she packs up her equipment. She moves the extension cord back to the house. The tiller truck is finally ready for work. She gives it a final check from the driver's seat. With a confident turn of the crank, the engine starts. She drives the resurrected machine down the road, a true victory. The story broadens, showing the context of this rural life. She seeks out her next project in a shed full of derelict equipment. Life in this community depends on keeping old machines running. She identifies her next challenge, a vintage rusted motorcycle. After making a deal, she and the owner push the seized bike out. She moves her new project to an open-air workshop afield. The first look reveals the extent of the decay. The engine is caked in rust and dirt. The initial cleaning begins, washing away decades of neglect. The wash reveals the bike's original red paint beneath the grime. The bike is clean, but the real work is just beginning. She quickly identifies the first mechanical issue, a flat tire. Using a hand pump, she tries to inflate it to find the leak. The repair requires removing the wheel from the forks. Using tire irons to pry the tire bead off the rim. She removes the punctured inner tube for patching or replacement. The inner tube is carefully inserted back inside the tire. The tire is muscled back onto the rim. Now the wheel assembly is reinstalled on the bike. The axle is reinserted ready to be tightened. The axle nuts are torqued down, securing the front wheel. With the tire fixed, she takes a moment satisfied with her progress. Final detailing begins, cleaning each small part. The motorcycle, once a forgotten piece of scrap, is now a complete machine again. The final bolt is tightened. The mechanical restoration is nearly done. Now for the engine. The oily residue on this spark plug indicates a potential problem with the fuel mixture or piston rings. She removes the faulty spark plug for inspection. This simple two-stroke engine is known for its reliability if properly maintained. The story shifts, showing the constant variety of challenges faced by these rural mechanics. From engine repair to fishing, resourcefulness is a way of life. Every object, even a discarded tire, can have a purpose. The remote paths these machines must travel. Another catastrophic failure: a truck has overturned on the trail. She begins the daunting task of recovery alone. She salvages what she can, starting with the wheels. The exposed engine and chassis reveal the extent of the damage. Her determination in the face of this wreck is incredible. The bare frame shows severe signs of stress from the accident. She assesses the situation, planning her next move. She begins disassembling parts from the overturned chassis. Every salvageable component is carefully removed. She attempts to right the massive frame by hand. She attaches a chain, preparing to use mechanical advantage. The strain is immense, but she persists. It's a slow, grueling battle against weight and gravity. A new day, a different truck. This one appears to be a custom build. She begins a thorough technical inspection. She points out a fault in the engine or drivetrain to her partner. She continues the inspection, checking the frame for alignment and integrity. Her hands trace the brake lines, looking for leaks or damage. She removes the battery, signaling the start of electrical work. An oil leak from the engine block, a common but serious issue. She repositions the vehicle for better access. Using a piece of wood to measure the chassis, checking if it's bent. The battery and fresh fluids are prepared for installation. She carefully secures the new GS battery with zip ties. She climbs aboard to continue the diagnostics from the driver's seat. Working under the chassis is dirty and difficult work. Tightening a bolt on the engine with a wrench. She inspects a filter, likely for fuel or oil. The determination to complete these repairs is extraordinary. Another fastener is torqued to specification. The work requires getting into uncomfortable positions for long periods. Her methodical approach ensures no system is left unchecked. The final inspection, a proud look at a job well done, the machine is ready to return to service. The story continues with more tools laid out for the next project. The challenges in this environment are constant and varied. From engine overhauls to simple fluid top-ups. Every machine from trucks to motorcycles requires attention. The daily life is a cycle of work breakdown and repair. Now a new vehicle in crisis, a Mitsubishi van caked in mud. The engine bay is filthy, suggesting it's been through deep mud or water. They walk the property, perhaps discussing a plan of action. Every piece of equipment is essential and must be maintained. A discarded tire, a potential spare part, or a new problem. The van's interior is completely flooded with mud. She begins the monumental task of making it roadworthy again, first inspecting the brake and hub assembly. She mounts a replacement wheel, the first step to getting it mobile. She carefully tightens the lug nuts by hand, using a bottle jack to lift the heavy vehicle. She works methodically around the entire van. She must improvise using a mat on the soft grass for stability. Working underneath the vehicle is always the most dangerous part of a repair. She removes the damaged wheel from the rear axle. A concrete block is used as a stable base for the jack. With the wheels back on, the van is mobile, but not yet functional. Now for another recovery operation, a familiar scene. The van is still dead and must be towed. She attempts to push, but the dead weight is too much. A tractor arrives to provide the necessary pulling power. They discuss the recovery plan, ensuring a safe tow. The tow strap is attached to a solid point on the van's chassis. The tractor's torque makes short work of pulling the heavy van. The vehicle is slowly towed out of the muddy field. They navigate the treacherous terrain back to the road. The recovery is a success. The van is now in a position to be repaired. Now begins the monumental task of cleaning the mud-filled interior. She begins shoveling out pounds of heavy wet mud. She removes all the seats to properly clean the vehicle's floor pan. Each seat is taken to the nearby river for a thorough washing. The running water helps to dislodge the thick mud. She washes every component, including the seat frames. It's a dirty, laborious process. The clean seats are brought back to be reinstalled. The car is stripped bare, ready to be hosed out. She uses buckets of water to wash the mud from the interior. Slowly, the original interior begins to emerge from beneath the grime. She reinstalls the now clean seats back into the van. The vehicle is finally clean, but it still won't run. The final act, a complex engine repair to bring the van back to life. A familiar story, she brings in a tractor to tow the dead van again. This time it's towed to a workshop for the final repairs. A final wash removes all traces of its ordeal. The interior is now spotless. The van is completely transformed. But the work isn't done. She begins disassembling the interior once more. She reinstalls the seat mounting hardware, a meticulous task. The seats are bolted back into place permanently. She tries the ignition, but the engine only clicks a dead battery. The battery is removed and hooked up to a rudimentary charger. With the battery charged and reinstalled, she tries again. The engine cranks, but won't start. The issue is more complex. She begins a systematic diagnosis, starting with the engine oil. Next, she cleans the air filter housing and inspects the filter. Now a full cooling system service. The radiator is removed. She flushes it with water to clear any sediment. The clean radiator is reinstalled and the hoses reconnected. The cooling system is refilled with fresh coolant. With everything reassembled, she tries to start the engine one last time. The engine sputters to life. A successful end to an epic repair. The final step is to refuel the vehicle. The vehicle, once a mud-filled wreck, is ready for the road. A testament to incredible skill and relentless perseverance. The interior is stripped out once again, this time for repair, not cleaning. She meticulously reinstalls the seat mounting bolts. The entire interior is put back together. The ignition is tested, but the engine won't start. A new problem. She diagnoses a dead battery. It's hooked up to a rudimentary charger. With the battery charged and reinstalled, she tries again. The engine cranks, but still won't start. The issue is deeper. She begins a systematic diagnosis, starting with the engine oil. She now moves to the air intake system. She cleans out the air filter housing and replaces the spark plug wires. She now removes the entire radiator to access the front of the engine. The radiator is flushed to remove internal blockages. The clean radiator is reinstalled and the hoses reconnected. The cooling system is refilled. With everything reassembled, she tries to start the engine one last time. Finally, it roars to life, a successful end to an epic repair. Another incredible display of perseverance and diagnostic skill. The van is finally ready. A test drive proves the repairs are a success. From a muddy grave to a functioning vehicle, the journey of restoration is complete. She now adds fuel to the tank. The vehicle, once a wreck, is ready for a new chapter. She gets behind the wheel, ready to drive away. The engine starts without issue. And she drives off, completing an incredible saga of repair. The final shot, a vehicle saved from the brink, ready to return to a life of work. She takes the van for its first proper drive. The engine runs smoothly, a testament to her skill. She drives with confidence, her work finally complete. The van is on the move. A new lease on life for the old machine. She arrives at her destination, proud of the vehicle she has saved. The story shifts back to the van. She opens the fuel cap, preparing for a journey. She adds fuel, a simple act that marks the end of a massive repair. The van once again serves its purpose, a testament to the art of restoration. A very special thank you to the owner of the YouTube channel, Tio, for creating this wonderful video and allowing me to comment. If you enjoyed this narrative, please visit and support their channel at the link in the description below.